Hello everybody and welcome to the weekly digest on this fine Sunday evening where we look at what's been occurring in the last week or so and add to the debate despite absolutely no one asking. Now there's a lot to talk about, so let's get started. There is of course nowhere else to start except from the game they're seeing in the background and of course the fact that the game of the year has already been won. It's won before August, it's over. It's very simple as to why. It lets you play as a cat. You can put any other fancy shit into the world. Stray lets you play as a cat. It's a foregone conclusion. As you can see, I have started the game and I'm enjoying it a lot. It was an intriguing concept and I've been looking forward to it for a long time now, ever since it was first shown. And evidently, that is the case for quite a lot of people because it's been doing bloody well on Steam and it's been breaking the record for Annapurna, who obviously made the game. I imagine it's been helped on PlayStation by being available on the extra and premium tiers of PS Plus as well. One of the things I like the most about this is the complete lack of stupidity. When it comes to games, there would be a temptation to, make the cat somewhat unrealistic. Let it have talents, let it be a super cat, something stupid like that. But it is literally just a cat. You knock shit over, you're really unhelpful, you claw shit up, you have cat naps whenever, and that just adds to it. Yes, of course, you do have a little robot, but it is the far future, so I'll let them have that one. And, who else is going to open the doors? Cats don't do doors, they just scratch the paint off them. I won't go into too much detail on the game itself, I'm still playing through it, but based on what I've played so far and what I'm hearing from others, the game is well worth a go. If you haven't done so already, do go and give it a try. If you are on PlayStation and you haven't upgraded your PlayStation Plus tiers, it might be worth doing that, it might be cheaper for you. And even if you hate cats, this game might make you not hate them, because it's bloody adorable. Oh, and sorry to people on Xbox, play Halo or something, I don't know. Now, something I just had to shoehorn into this video, but the MCU had a lot of announcements at this year's Comic Con. I literally woke up today and had that and thought, I can't not mention that surely. We had confirmation of the end of Phase 4, the entirety of Phase 5 mapped out, and also the starts and ends of Phase 6, as well as some trailers and actual titles announced. Phase 4 will end with Black Panther 2 and She-Hulk this year. Phase 5 will start with Ant-Man and the Wasp and end with Thunderbolt in July 2024. And then Phase 6 will start with Fantastic Four and then end with Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Phase 4 to 6 is officially known as the Multiverse Saga now. Apt name, well done them. Does what it says on the tin. There were also trailers shown, including Black Panther 2, which shows Wakanda mourning the loss of their leader, of course. I was particularly curious about Black Panther 2 because of how they dealt with the tragic and untimely loss of Chadwick Boseman. Well, it seems what we know now, and I do think it's probably the best way of going about it. One thing that all these fancy slideshows show is that there's still a metric shit ton of Marvel coming out over the next few years. I mean, I've been concerned about Marvel fatigue now, but holy crap, it's only going to get more prominent, Jesus. Naughty Dog suffered yet another massive leak. They should really get a plumber in. They had a leak before with Part 2 coming out, and now they've just had another one. Let that sink in. Okay, I'm finished. But once again, Naughty Dog have had a fairly substantial leak for their game. Luckily, of course, on this occasion, it isn't major spoilers or anything. The game was originally released in 2013. Most people now know the whole sort of story, so it isn't as much of an issue. But a lot of the game has now been seen, and to be honest with you, it wasn't overly impressive to many people. Now, this could be down to the leaker, it could be pre-alpha, alpha, beta, gameplay, etc. But when you consider the £70 price slapped on this, you can understand that people were a little bit concerned. They did put a gameplay overview out towards the end of the week, showcasing the improvements. I wonder why that came out, eh? And to be fair to them, it did look somewhat good, in my opinion at least. But it is a 10-minute pre-recorded video, so it's in their best interest to make it as glossy as possible, and I understand that they could have shithoused their way to that. But it did look fairly good. I'm sure that the remaster that is The Last of Us Part 1 will look and play beautifully. I don't doubt Naughty Dog in the slightest on that. However, no matter how good it looks, how brilliant it looks, it could be the best looking game out there. It just isn't right to charge people a full AAA price for the game. It's a third remaster of a game that really didn't actually come out that long ago. It came out less than a decade ago and we're already on to the third iteration of it. Gaming is an expensive hobby. It can be very difficult to justify spending £70 on any game, especially one that is simply a remaster of a story that we've already seen. That's not even considering the cost of living shooting up like a rocket up your ass at the moment. It's just a bit out of touch. And I say that as somebody who bloody loves The Last of Us. It's my favourite game ever, and I was rather excited to see this remade for the PS5. Now, I did actually have a video dedicated to this coming out, but then all these leaks started happening, and it essentially poleaxed my video, so cheers for that. Ah well, moving on. FIFA 23 was announced. Wow, who saw that coming? Final time that trick can be done before a FIFA title for a little while. End of an era, it really is. I'll keep this one quick, as the people who hate FIFA and have angrily let out "it's the same game every year" will be frothing at the mouth if this goes on any longer. Of course, it'll be the final game by EA Sports to carry the FIFA title, which will be incredibly weird once that happens. So what we got from this announcement was a new hyper-promotion, 2 World Cups, women's domestic leagues for the first time, and of course crossplay. But no crossplay for the mode that needs it the most and would benefit from it the most. Bloody genius, yeah, honestly, bloody genius. Pro clubs with crossplay would be brilliant, but players of that mode are well used to disappointment at this point. And also something I just wanted to mention, because I know a lot of people will still be on the older consoles. We're now getting to the stage where the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the games are just going to start to be scams a little bit. There'll be very little changed. Just ask Nintendo Switch players what that's like, because they're well used to it at this point. The Switch version, while we're talking about it, will once again be a Legacy Edition, no gameplay changes, updated leagues, kits and squad, that's it. Now, I hate this practice with a passion. My view is release a game properly or just don't bother. And to be honest with you, in the next few years, you'll probably see the Legacy Edition tag on the PS4 and Xbox One, so that's something to watch out for. I remember they did this with the PS Vita, but the Switch has a larger player base, and I know it's not really a console that appeals to that market, but surely it's worth a little bit of an effort, and it could make decent money if they put more effort in. Evidently, the Legacy Edition port still hits the sweet spot for EA, where it makes enough money to put out, but not enough money to care about it. So, it is what it is. As long as people are enjoying it, I suppose that's all that matters. Supposedly people are enjoying it. There you go. Discord is coming to Xbox, which is good news. You can come out your strayless depression with that news, anyone who's on the Xbox. Discord coming to consoles has been a long time coming, in my opinion, and will hopefully soon allow there to be an alternative option to game chats for cross-platform gaming. It feels like this is something that should have been considered earlier with the rise of cross-platform, providing something that is more akin to party chat as opposed to game chat for those of us who are like a cocktail with our gaming groups with PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Nintendo all shoved into one. And Discord is probably the best placed to provide this. But what's interesting about this is that Xbox will be getting Discord before PlayStation, despite PlayStation and Discord striking up an agreement, and PlayStation buying a minority stake in Discord about a year ago now. And we were told that we would hear about what this would mean and what this would bring in early 2022. It's nearly August now, and we still don't know. A bit of a slap on the head for PlayStation, but hopefully soon enough we will find out what they have planned, and Discord will be available across both platforms. And finally, to end us for this week, the Nintendo eShop is meeting its end on the 3DS and the Wii U. You can still buy games digitally until the 27th of March next year. However, you only have until the 29th of August to add prepaid funds. It's always a shame when a store dies, because let's face it basically means the console is resigned to history in this modern era of everything being on networks. To be honest with you, I'm somewhat surprised this hasn't already happened, especially with the Wii U, a console that I forgot existed and was created whilst everyone was high on meth. The 3DS maybe had some legs left, although the Switch had taken the reins off the handheld market, and the 3D thing was a spectacular example of a gimmick that ultimately didn't matter in the slightest. Even so, these consoles had their fans, or in the case of the Wii U, fan, and therefore it is always a poignant moment when consoles either cease production or have services shut down for good. That brings us to the end of this week's digest. Leave a like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts down below on what we have covered, as well as any other bollocks that happened in the week. Go nuts. And until next time, I'll see you around. Goodbye. P.S. There's a certain video on a certain COD game coming out in the next week.